agenda additions here, Andre?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we have item 9A will be moved to the next week at the cow meeting.
Which one is it? Sorry, I missed.
9A.
Okay.
10A is canceled for tonight. I'm adding a 10E, which everybody has a copy on their desk, invitation to budget dialogue with the Minister of Finance. There's detail inside the email. And there'll be an item 12E, copy of the letter of support that I prepared last week for the 7th Annual Film Festival. Anything else, Mitch? No? That's it?
Okay, I've got got a resolution that council adopt the agenda of regular meeting RM08-2026 as amended. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor James Tetzel. Seconded by Councillor Cheryl Clee.
Somebody's phone number?
Oh, pardon me.
All in favor of adopting the agenda? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Brendan, 6. Any declarations of interest? Shouldn't be any. Anybody hear from Josh?
On his way, just text.
He's on his way? Okay, I'll
Excellent.
leave it open, Mr. Mayor.
Leave that off. So, flip these. Watch the minutes. Delegations.
No delegation.
We've got a council resolution that council approved the minutes of RM07-2026, April 27, 2026. Need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Rashinda Clee. Seconded by Councillor Liza James. Anybody find any questions with? None? Okay, as presented. All in favor of approving the minutes as presented? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, at the emergency measures public meeting there last week, went over great. There was turnout of maybe 25, 30 people. NACA was there, ECC was there, the fire department, a couple people, great. It was a good turnout. Everything went just great, just like breakup. So that's
Yeah.
Oh, Josh.
yeah, Josh is in.
Okay, good.
My report.
That's it for your report. On mine, it started with the first NEMO meeting of the season last week. We had in attendance MACA and ECC, the health department. Mitch was there, of course, the fire chief, director of protective services, made a presentation on the level of water. We also talked about the fire, getting ready. Smart fire is the word? Your house?
Fire smarting.
Fire smarting, okay. That's French. As much as possible, and Mitch will have something else to announce later on that will help with that too, and around the house. That went really well. It lasted approximately 22 minutes. And we agreed to meet again on, I believe, 25th, Mitch?
Mm-hmm.
The 25th of the month, again at 11 o'clock to get an update, and if an emergency occur in between, to call the NEMO in as soon as possible. But once I'm made aware of something, then I will call it. That evening, I also attended the public presentation by Director of Protective Services and listened to what the individual in the room had to say, and I think that our director did a great presentation with overhead, and also to assist. A lot of questions were more geared towards ECC, so Lori got up and answered those questions to help the individuals that were asking those questions. I did prepare a response to the letter to MACA, and you will see it in the package in regards to the deficit and also requesting for an extension. So you have the copy in your package. I've worked on the system. We're getting close to getting a system to be able to track better all the vacation, the leave, the other type of leave that the employees are entitled to, ensure that the system picks them all up. The biggest problem with our system that we have, even if it's Sage, it's unanimously across the board with Sage, because we are paying our employees per hour that they work. We can't just plug in 20 days of annual leave into a system. It doesn't calculate that way. So it's based on the number of hours. Therefore, we have to have an Excel spreadsheet that has all the boxes with the type of leave. And as we take it from their timesheet, it's put into that system, which is locked with the finance and SAO. So when they want to have a report and they want to say, well, how come I don't have any more leave? We can print their whole time sheet, and it shows all the days that they were out and for what type of leave that they were granted. And that's supported by the leave form. So I'm working on that right now, and should be completed by the end of this month. I did a complete review of our payables that we have. As you know, for the beginning of the year, we wanted to make sure that we go through the year, the beginning of the year, without running out of funds. And I can announce that successfully we were able to pull through with the advance that we received from the CPI, and that tomorrow all our bill will be fully paid and up to date. We will then work a plan within 2 weeks, a plan on how we're going to repay back the money to the CPI that we transferred, authorized by the council, of $500,000. So that will be our next, but none of our creditor will not be paid by tomorrow. They will be all up to date. I'm forever during the day continuing the clean up of all the files and putting notes in the files. It's nice to have it in your head, but when you open a file and you've got it in the personnel file of each employees that we deal with, plus the different files that I have on my desk, it's a lot easier for Mitch or someone else to pick up the file and know exactly what was discussed and whatnot. I've also prepared a letter of support for the film festival, and you do have a copy also in the package, and it was delivered by email this morning to Jonathan. So that was done, and the last one, which you've been asking about the health center and what's going on and whatnot. I'm gonna tell you three things that happened in the last week. The very first one was an email on the 29th of April, an email sent to Mitch and myself. And it basically says, we did not receive the support letter from the village of Fort Simpson and Métis Nations. We are still waiting the letter from the First Nation. They are completely wrong. Mitch wrote back after we sat down and discussed it that on 18th of February, that those letters were all sent out. And we even included the copies, Mitch, of what we had sent out. The reply from Priscilla at that point was, let me see here. Okay, so that's all the copies. And then she answered back, if I recall, that let me see here, because it's on the other side, okay. Priscilla, so, okay, so on the 29th, she responded that they did not, she said that, and then Mitch sent back to say on the 18th, we did. And then the next email. Okay, so please find and close the signed letters. So here's the email. I've included a map of the area that we support. Also, I have CC'd the executive director of the Métis Association, number 52, as per your request. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. And then Mitch sent a long email to Christopher, the director, not Priscilla, that at the Tri-Council meeting was held with LKDFN, Métis Local 52, and the village of Fort Simpson on June 4th, at which time all parties agreed that the new health center was to be located up the hill off island. We had received letters stating this agreement from LKFN dated 18th of June, and one from the Métis Local 52, which you stated you received. I could now not quote a date on that letter as the village was not CC'd. At this point, all three parties in Fort Simpson had agreed with infrastructure's position that the location was to be up off the island. A letter sent on June 18, with complete map defining the preferred location based on current and future perceived community planning zoning. As the village is a custodian of these lands, and with the previous June 4th, 2026 agreement by all three parties in Fort Simpson, as well as GNWT Infrastructure agreeing on placement up to off the island, the village issued the letter and preferred location map. I'm hoping you can understand that everyone is in alignment and agreement on this location at this time. If you have any questions or further need, please contact us immediately. Please define a preferred contact for us so that we may keep update on any and all movement regarding this planning process, as the community is very concerned regarding the seemingly slow rate of progress. Also, if you could forward a list of all those involved in this planning process, along with their title, contact info, and the chain of command, so to speak. Hoping to hear from you shortly, Vince Cast, Operation Manager. So they waited all that time.
They
And
were here for a meeting with us.
yeah,
They went out and did a tour.
on top of that.
Yeah.
So
Where's that?
that was sent out Friday because we received a letter 28, 29 by the time we responded, and Mitch and I consulted and we said, let's send it to Christopher Clark.
We have no response.
Nothing, nothing.
I would send another email. That's per our,
Madeline?
So I'm just wondering, who did we address the letter, the initial one? Is it to the minister or to Christopher?
Christopher and Priscilla, which they are the coordinator of the infrastructure.
I think moving forward, I think we should send it to the minister and then CC them because it gets lost somewhere else in their pile of paper. And at least with that, and then we can CC as well, the MLA. So we know, we could CC so many things, so they cannot deny that, oh, we didn't receive it, and we have to, it's good thing that you guys remember things and you got that thing, and then, do you mail it, do you email it, or something?
Email, because with the mail, we'll never know if
I
it's
know,
on there
so
or not.
even if with that email, they should have it in their email.
Yeah.
Unless they deleted it.
I think we should be getting a response. If we don't get a response by tomorrow, then another follow-up email to the minister with all of this information. And remind the minister that we did meet. Our council met with her and we all agreed off island. They did do a tour. They selected the site they preferred. We had no problem with that. And we said, get on with it. And now they're asking how we're delaying the process? No, somebody's not doing their work.
Mr. Mayor, as the tradition goes, Kathy will give you the instructions and administration will be following exactly, so they can't say we took it on ourselves. It is a
Mr. Mayor,
procedure.
Could you please
Direct.
direct the SAO to respond to the email that was sent by the operations manager on May 30th to Christopher,
April 30th.
or April 30th, I wish it was May 30th, April 30th, to the minister with a follow-up, like, come on. Got it? Thank
Agreed.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I have to do that every time,
You're the tough.
I'm the tough guy.
I do have another question on when you mentioned about the leave, because it's recorded as days, right? Not hours, but in the system, it takes hours.
Our system says
Yeah.
under the collective agreement,
Yeah.
we have to calculate all the benefits in hours work
Hours, yeah.
instead of days like
Yeah.
the government of.
Yeah. So, yeah, because that's if, I'm gonna be gone for 6 hours, I think it's similar thing. We have to take it in hours, not days.
And they do hours, the GNWT.
Yeah, it's hours in GNW. Yeah.
They're on the A-plan system.
Just a comment at one time, Mr. Mayor, I recall that you had to work 10 days and then you get your full benefit of the month. Is that still the case?
No.
Not anymore.
Not
You can
anymore?
do
Okay,
anything.
okay.
It used to be, but now every hour that you work, there's a calculation.
At the public service.
So that was my SAO report.
Just quickly on the health center thing, you had motion that we wanted to get all of the information on the health center with all the emails concerning this, letters going back and forth. I had mentioned it before because I think we all need to know where we sit with this. When we sent letters, I remember we had sent a letter at one point saying that we wanted the health center. We had given them some options. We did mention the power plant one, and they wrote back and said, can't use the power plant one and we can't use the ENR one or whatever. And then we said, just right back and say, we didn't say that. We said anywhere on the hill. Those were some ideas put forward, but it seemed like they were putting all the eggs in that one basket. I think if we got this information, I think everybody would be more informed, but also I think we should have a committee like I've recommended before dealing specifically with this, because even if the health center is a $10 million building, then I know I'm thinking probably 30 million, but even if it was 10 million, we would be collecting $280,000 of taxes off of this building. The sooner we get this, like even just to have a health center, a new health center is something good for us. But in our current situation, if we can be getting this money and we keep getting delays, and I think we need to be a little more hard on this. We're the ones that do it.
What I just directed the mayor to have the FAO do was get hard on this and go directly to the minister.
And you're only directed to get this information, and we didn't get it. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, I think we've got it. I don't know how much more information you need. I don't want any more hard copies.
I've asked for the information on this project from the beginning so we can understand how we got to the point where we are now.
We're not
We-
directing this project, though. They are.
We did move the motion asking for information and for the plans that they gave that. Anyway, we did ask for it, so.
Just piggybacking on Troy's comment. Talking to Troy in the previous, last week, it looks like he's got all the information and even the blueprint and all that stuff. Maybe you could help provide that information to create that, binder where we can put all that information.
Some information, I mean,
Yeah.
and it's only because I'm reaching out to get it, but I
Yeah.
think we really need to be on top of this and do whatever we can to get this to happen.
Yeah, I know, but because they only had that letter and they don't have the other one, so I guess if you've got something, you could share it. Looks like you're on top of everything as well. You're just looking for someone to kind of put together a file so that we have a kind of like a timeline or anything like that. The other thing is that this is not even our job to do it.
No.
Because we're not the lead on this one. It's supposed to be the Health and Social Services. And at that time, even for Wilson Dimsdale attending the last one that we attended, he should be taking notes. And we clearly requested from Priscilla, can you give us a timeline where you could put, like what you said, who are the contact people? What's your role? How far are you going to finish this within 5 years? What's this stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What is? And they said, yeah, we will do it, but they never did.
Okay. So you, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Bellefontaine has most of the information, and you've reached out and got additional, apparently, information from somewhere, I don't know where, the department, I guess, and we don't have that, we're not privy to that. It makes it, I'm really not understanding what we're doing here, because it's not our project. Our purpose is to ensure that the project is built. That's what we are pushing for, and that we have the required bylaws, et cetera, for the land issue. Yes, would be very good to be involved in that understanding of it and being part of the planning process. But I think, as I directed Mr. Mayor to direct the FAO to write the minister on his behalf and get this clear, because it's obvious to me there's nobody up there that knows what's going on. If this is what we get in emails a week ago. And if you have information contrary to that and contradicts that, that would be helpful. But
What I'm saying is I'd like to have an idea of everything that's happened between the village and them, so that we've sent letters. I'd like to know when we sent it, what they said back to us, how this process came to be at this point, so we can understand why at this point they don't seem to understand. You know?
well, I think it's
It's true,
I think
though.
it's a departmental breakdown is what I would suggest, that the department who is the lead with the Department of Infrastructure, there obviously is a breakdown, because is it even on the capital plan? Has anybody looked at the capital plan?
I think what we can do is we can invite the CEO or the chairperson of the wellness board or whatsoever.
They don't have involvement in that stuff.
No, because Moaz keeps talking about that all along, about the health center. So I would assume that he is involved.
They have no authority and can only make recommendations, and that's all. They don't have any mandate to make decisions or carry budgets or do anything else. So I would suggest, if you're going to write a chair, you write the chair of, or the public administrator of THSSA, the Territorial Health Authority. And the CEO of that is Kim Riles, who used to work here. So she's fully aware of us. But I think if I'm misunderstanding what Councillor Belafonte says, are we hiding information from council on this?
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't say we're hiding it, but
I'm not.
I don't think it,
I have the floor, thank you. Because this has been an ongoing issue of this, Councillor, and let's get it resolved and get on it, because I really feel if we don't, we will lose an opportunity. So I do agree with the councillor that we need to have an up-to-date portfolio regarding this matter, and that somebody here has to be on top of it, because it is a huge benefit to this community to have a newer structure, and we are involved. Am I making any sense at all tonight? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, item 9A, as I mentioned, is will be moved to the CAL next week, because there'll be more information coming in within a week, and we'll have something to share.
Excellent.
The draft. Right, Mitch?
Is it gonna be a tedious exercise that we're just gonna focus on that? It's our community plan, because it's a lot of documents.
No, generally just the changes to the contract, because it's so stale from 2022.
Okay,
So
but, okay.
Okay. Mr. Mayor and Council, 10A is canceled, and there was different recommendation that we get a report or something from the District Education Authority through our member. Perhaps, within the next 3-4 weeks, we can get something from DEA.
Yeah, excellent. Rashinda?
Maybe we can even just see the minutes. Yeah, minutes of previous meetings.
Okay.
I think it's just a summary of what we need to know, not so much on the details. Actually, Amy doesn't really have to come here, but if she really wants to come here just to give us an update, to tell us what's the real situation in our schools, it's good to know about that as well. But that one, I believe when I spoke to her, because when she sent the letter, but the email, it did come on time when we had a meeting. And she said that she wanted it to be in camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can a delegate be in camera?
Mitch made attempts, I made attempts to explain that's not the type of meeting that we want. And for some reason, they seem to think, and I met with her personally after the meeting last week, and she said, I'm sorry about that, but, we cancel. And then when we re-invited to be put either in new business or somewhere else, just to give us an overview, it was again, well, you should send someone over to listen to the meeting, but we already have someone that represents.
Yeah.
Mayor?
Why can't we suggest to the DEA that they give us a report, just like the RCMP do, or other community agencies? And this one is even more particular because we do provide school-based funding, and we have somebody on the DEA, so that's why we're asking. We have the responsibility to have that information and provide it to the public if need be. So I think it's not that we want to know what's going on with that investigation. I think that's that's another issue, a matter. We want to know how many kids are going to graduate, when are the graduations, what other trips are planned, what other cultural activities, what other things could we support. That kind of stuff is what we want. So if we have, maybe even write the DEA and just say, this is what we're looking for. That's all. Yeah, statistic, just like the RCMP do. And that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it
Right.
looks like in this email, they're saying that we're looking for the meetings we want, and they can start sending us the minutes, and the minutes do include the other two.
Well, that's what we're looking for. That's all we need.
If they were to just send us the minutes, that should give us that type of information.
So, Mr. Mayor, further to what I've just heard, and it's going to be in the minutes, is tomorrow I'll follow up with an email that kindly send us the minutes and the reports that they're talking about. And we'll have a representative already scheduled to go into the meetings. And if there's anything further, we will make requests. Is that enough?
Yeah.
10B. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to table 10B to the next COW meeting. At the last minute this evening, our lawyer that we were using, Ed, well, the secretary responded back, say, oh, he had to postpone his retirement, or what's the word that was used, Mitch? Postpone his retirement. The reason we were asking is we thought there was no one in that firm handling in case that we have some sales this year. So I need time to get in touch with Ed, get the detail, and then see if he's
Yeah,
still
that's
gonna
fair.
take care of our situation. So there's no need to pass this motion tonight.
Yep, that's fair.
And then we'll see from the response
Yes. So we'll discuss that at the next meeting?
at the COW. I'll have the detail.
Yeah, I know this is not the first time. I thought he's already retired since last
Yes.
year. Because he's also our lawyer with the other organization we're involved in, that we had to seek. I think we should be prepared to find a lawyer just in case.
I would
Yeah.
go in that direction.
Yeah.
That was gonna be the motion tonight, is to give me the authorization to go to 4 or 5 firms. Do it all the same I did with the accountant, if you would like to.
Everywhere.
Given the experience I have with my respected colleague across the floor, there is only a couple in the Northwest Territories that do land transactions and tax issues. So I'm not sure you'll get from 5. So just a
Yeah.
cautiousness around this, because it is going to be a challenge.
Might have to get someone from down south.
I think Bromley opened up an office in Yellowknife,
They've
started.
had an office for a long time.
Yeah, well, the announcement came in last week, so
Yeah.
that's why. Okay, so move to the COW.
Just one addition to that, ask the NWTAC
Mhm.
for a recommendation.
Yes.
Emma, you got that? Okay, thank you.
So yeah, we'll move that.
That's good for that. So 10C, Mitch will speak about the large item pickup and the fire smarting after.
You have a copy of that?
Do you need the packet? 10C and D. I don't think I have anything in the packet. Mitch.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. In that case,
It was you speaking on,
give you both motions.
start with that one. And then fire smarting. Okay?
Okay, as usual, every year, we usually do community beautification, and we offer large item pickup. So we've got a motion here. The council, in the interest of community beautification, the Village of Fort Simpson, once again, will offer large item pickup for the month of May 2026. The village will pick up and dispose of the following items, free of pickup, transportation, and tipping fees. I made a list of items, an average list of items that'll be free. Items to be placed on the roadside for pickup include the following: furniture, mattresses, white goods, construction waste, household hazardous waste, batteries, and metals. Now, this is the question. Items not included: passenger vehicles, commercial vehicles, commercial machinery. Now, the question is, well, if you're okay with those exclusions, or we can cross them out and include them.
What about appliances?
Appliances are white goods.
Oh, okay.
So appliances, furniture, mattresses, all the standard household stuff. We just don't want to get involved with passenger vehicles, or commercial machinery. So if everybody's okay with that, yeah, okay. So that's enough of that. I'll pass that motion back. It'll get read at a certain point. And also now the fire smarting that council continue. That council, in a continuing effort to support fire smarting in the village of Fort Simpson, any wildfire fuels removed from residential properties for fire smarting may be, one, placed at the roadside and will be picked up, transported, and disposed of free from transportation and tipping fees for the period of May 1st till October 15th, basically the whole non-snow season. And also, any other organic yard waste dropped off at the landfill will not incur tipping fees during the same period. Okay, so if people want to drop their grass, lawn clippings and stuff off, we don't want to pick that stuff up, but if they drop it off, we're not going to charge tipping fees because that's going to go in our organic biosolids anyway. So again, motion to that effect. So pretty straightforward, mimicking most other years. It's just that large item pickup, we did exclude 3 things there. The passenger vehicles, the commercial vehicles, and commercial equipment. Okay, only difference from every other year.
Deputy Mayor?
Thanks, Mitch. I had a complaint this week or over the last week about the vehicle situation, like the wrecked up vehicles that are sitting in people's yards, and that they are an eyesore, but they also could be hazardous, or if there is a fire, they could be a potential source of ignition and explosion. And so we haven't, like, there's a home in this community just behind the health center there that is full of vehicles that we should not be allowing. There's no zoning for that, and that needs to be dealt with. And I know every council's heard this, and no council's ever dealt with it. So that, I think, needs to be addressed, whether it's through this or another way. We do have other areas, and the elder said to me, my son's yard is getting filled with vehicles because people are putting them there, and he's not saying no, and they need to be moved as well. So a lot of that is sitting in Wild Rose, and that is our most fragile area for wildfires. And so if we're going to be a diligent community and a village council, then we need to address that issue, because those are fuel for a fire. And I don't know what the plan will be, but I think we need to have that.
I would like to reiterate those concerns as well. It's not something that has gone unnoticed or unaddressed by us. I know I brought it up at least once about that particular lot, and it's not the only one. There's some at Wild Rose that should be addressed. I don't know what our bylaw says, something I will need to review. I know, I don't know if there was like looking into it legally, what that means. It would be awful for that to catch fire in the health centers right there, our water stations right there. You know, it's quite hazardous, and I know it's been there for a long time. It's getting worse, and there's already been a fire there. So I just would like to reiterate my concerns about derelict lots, is what they're called, and that we really need to start doing something about it.
Yeah. So I know in the past when we had our bylaw officers supposed to drive around and check eyesores and stuff like that, right? So that particular lot where there's a lot of vehicles parking there, because is that a titled land, or what is it kind of land? And it's not zoned as a business, right? So because they're parking outside the property line, do we have the right to pull that vehicle out of it? That's what, if it's kind of like derelict materials or vehicles, I was wondering, you don't even need to ask permission, you just have to take it out. Because basically that part is the village land.
Deputy Mayor.
I think you should look at your liability insurance as well, because those are liabilities to the village. Because it's close to that health center and one of our huge infrastructures that supports water, a fire could go and good luck to you. It could jump.
Cheryl?
And I think too, like, you know, having some sort of communication or interaction with the owner of that property, or even finding out exactly what the status is, like Renwin said. So it would be nice to really do something, not just about that one particular lot.
Oh, there's
the
more
ones
than
that are
that.
around town, wild rose everywhere. So let's see.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, I suggest that we put it as an item on the town meeting this week and have an open conversation and come out with some direction about it, because I know which property you're talking about, and there's some situations that are, it was a fire already, we are aware of it, but there's also extenuating circumstances that needs to be discussed with Mitch and the council about it.
Deputy Mayor?
So can I recommend, Mr. Mayor, that you direct the SAO and administration to do a briefing note with all of the information regarding is there a bylaw? What should we be doing? Has this been addressed before? And what the recommendations coming from administration would be to resolve this issue, because it's ongoing.
So you want that for the
How?
May 11th, our meeting. Okay,
I've got one question on the large item pickup.
Why am I the director?
So we don't want to move vehicles and stuff like that? Are we accepting, are we waiving the fee when we bring them to the dump?
As it's written right now, no, that's up to you guys. So if you wish, them to be waived at the landfill, that's fine too. Personally, it costs us a lot of money to drain the vehicles.
Exactly.
Get fuel, transmission fluid, gear fluid out of the batteries, mercury switches. It's a lot of money. That's why we have, I won't say it's a high tipping fee. It's high. It's the same as the other communities, but it's high. It's a lot of money. Picking them up is a bit of a pain.
Yeah, that's
We
what
don't want to do it. We've done it safely in the past. We don't mind doing it. Our staff doesn't mind doing it. The tipping fees are an issue though, right? That's a lot of money.
Well,
just, what are the tipping fees? I don't remember. Roughly.
I think it depends on the vehicle, but I think we're in the $300 or $400 range if we're doing it. One of the contractors in town was doing it for $900
Per vehicle or
per vehicle.
I would suggest to Mr. Mayor that you direct the SAO and staff to include that as part of the briefing and look at different scenarios on the best, most effective cost, effective way to deal with it. I think that we have to show that we are being responsible when we talk about fire smarting. And that's part of it, especially like when I look up in Wild Rose, there's quite a few old vehicles lying around up there in properties that they just add fuel. Who knows what's still left in them, but anyway,
Okay. So I've got a council resolution that council direct the SAO to advise for the retention of a law
Yeah,
firm
I
to
was thinking about that.
represent the village of.
Nope, that one wasn't able. Sorry about that.
Okay, I've got a council resolution that council, in the interest of the community beautification, the village of Fort Simpson once again will offer large item pickup for the month of May 2026. The village will pick up and dispose of the following items free of pickup and tipping fee. Items are to be placed at the roadside for pickup and include the following: furniture, mattresses, white goods, construction waste, household hazardous waste, batteries, and metals. Items not included will be passenger vehicles, commercial vehicles, and commercial machinery. Need a mover and a seconder. Okay, moved by Councillor Pascaman,
All kinds of vehicles.
seconded by James, I think. Did you have your hand up or you just, okay, then Josh.
Campbell.
Yeah, Councillor Campbell. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Carried.
Next
So,
one.
clarification, so we can personally move the vehicle over and no tipping fee, is that what I understand? No, there's.
Tipping fee.
Yeah, the tipping, okay.
After
That's for the cow.
the cow.
The
or
cow.
The next meeting. Okay, now we've got a council resolution that council, in the continued effort to support fire smarting in the village of Fort Simpson, any wildfire fuels removed from residential properties for fire smarting may be placed at the roadside, will be picked up, transported, and disposed of free from transportation and tripping fees from the period of May 1st to October 15th. And that any other yard organic waste dropped off at the landfill will not incur tipping fees during the period of May 1st, May or October 15th, 2026. I need a mover and a seconder for this. Moved by Councillor Shin McLean
Somebody over.
and Councillor Leslie. So, question?
So what about vehicles, I live in public housing, so there's a vehicle like next door on a lot to my place. How does the person go to housing about that to be
I would
removed?
think, yeah.
Yep.
I would think.
Yep. I think
Okay.
There's a motion on the floor.
Motion on the
most of
floor.
the floor, vote for the
Yep.
motion.
Okay, so I'm all in favor for the pickup of fire smarting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I have a question.
Carried. Yes.
So could we also direct the SAO and operations manager to draft a letter for your signature to the departments that have responsibility for leasing or lots or lands in this community regarding the issue of combustibles on their properties that need to be removed? Because we're fire smarting and, wildfires.
Good idea.
God, I'm getting smarter.
Mr. Mayor, we're at 11A,
One more
which
year
is
and I'll be
the
older.
2026-006 taxi. I've sent it the second time in the package. I sent it last week and again Friday, and you had a copy previously. That was to also avoid having to read 10 pages this evening. If anyone has any notes, Mr. Mayor, this is a time we don't have to vote it tonight if there's too many things that needs to be changed, and there is a handout.
Yeah. Page 3,
Page 2.
number 5, A. 18 years old, right? So our legal age, basically, majority age is 19. So do we put still 18 or 19?
Chauffeur's permit.
Yeah, I think they issue them
You can have a driver already, but yeah,
class 4. I think
Class
you have to
4.
be 18.
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just wondering.
You have to have your
legal age is 19.
Regular permit for
Yeah.
X amount of months before.
Yeah.
I do have one on, where is it? Taxi bylaw. Something about supervision. I was wondering, is that the right word for it? Okay. Whereas the
Page,
oh, sorry, page 1 of 10. So the whereas the municipal corporation of the village of Port 17 deems it necessary to supervise. Is that the right word? Or would be,
to supervise, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. No, it just didn't sound right to me for
Oversee.
some reason. Oversee was what I was thinking, but supervise could be the same thing, but. Yeah, anyway, just question.
Councilor Bellefontaine?
I feel like this should be tabled to a committee of the whole meeting so we can have discussion on it, because it came to a committee of the whole originally, but we had no information at all on it. And actually, in the last package, we didn't receive it. We got it at the meeting, so we didn't really have time to discuss it. We just got to have it last week to look at. But we didn't really discuss on it, and I had a lot of questions about it actually. So I don't know that the regular meeting is the best place to discuss all of that, but I feel that I have a lot of questions. If you want, we can go through much of them now, but I think
You want to table it to the cow?
Table it to the cow?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're just throwing brainstorming right now, right? I just want to go back with the one, the supervise word.
Yep.
I don't know too that that's the right terminology for that. I'm not sure it should be implement instead of supervise. Like, we're not closely supervising. Are you doing this? We're implementing the bylaw. That's what.
Or monitor,
Yeah,
no
because you're making
monitor.
reference to the bylaw. I don't know, that's what I was just.
Yeah,
Let's move it to a cow.
thank you.
That will be on May 11th. And it was in no way trying to push this 10 page for this evening. We knew that some people may, and that's why we said, well, let's discuss it at the cow if necessary. You have in your package a report from Constellation Bookkeeping, which is under 12A. And that was addressed to the council, so I put it in there, and there was a couple of recommendation or suggestion in there that were put in specifically in regards to who will be doing all the input of the adjusted entry at the end of the year, so that the balance are transferred to the starting, and then we can start preparing some variance report and different report. That is basically what I asked Mike to do for the council, is give a report after he left here, and that's the result. If there was questions, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, when is our new finance manager coming in? May 19th?
May 19th.
Yeah, I think we have to wait until she comes here and discuss it. She's a CPA, she's an accountant, she should know how to do the journal entry. But I like the suggestions he mentioned in here, like it's been discussed. And I think let's see what the finance manager can do in terms of if she needs to subcontract some few things, if it's needed. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, that was in the, anything else for 12A? No? 12B?
I concur
whoops.
with the member
Okay,
to my far right.
Very far right.
on 12B, you have a copy of the letter that was signed by the mayor for the Open Sky requesting support. As we sign those letters, they are brought to the council so that we can see the support that we're giving to the different organizations. 12C, you've got the Mackenzie Valley Highway 2026 Field Studies invitation to engage. The document would be on your package that I gave you, 12C. I believe.
We got the email too.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah.
And in it, there is a, I believe there's dates and whatnot that you can take, that you can go on it.
I registered already May 5 tomorrow, 12 to 1.
We're good with 12B? 12C, sorry. Okay. Well, 12B, letter to MACA, that was at the request of council that, or my suggestion, I can't remember, it doesn't matter, is the making the record straight with what we have as a financial statement that was approved by this council the evening that Paul Mackay was doing the presentation, and it was approved. And what I was given as an answer is that the finance department of MACA was using the first draft that was submitted, which was wrong. And I put it into writing, and that's why you have a copy of the letter, and she acknowledged receipt of the letter.
I think that this letter going to the regional superintendent should be signed by administration and not you as the politician. If you're going to sign a letter regarding this, it goes direct, like a ministerial letter you're writing.
Okay.
Right.
And
So when I deal with the superintendent, it's my signature, not the council, and then if something needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah, that means your side, Jeff and Melinda speaking directly to the mayor, not.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just a,
Formality, but it's important.
well, I do agree. That's the kind of protocol of communication. So basically, you can go direct to the deputy minister or the minister. Yeah, because that's their employees. But it's okay to CC you on
yeah,
that
he should have
letter.
been CC'd, but not necessarily signing the letter.
So I do have a question though. Did they confirm that they received the
Oh, she,
final audited financial statement with our signatures? Remember, we all signed?
you mean the one from last year?
Yeah. From last year, the one that they're making reference to?
Well, she confirmed that she received it because I gave her a second
Yeah.
copy when she
Oh,
came in.
okay.
And I said, that was approved, and here's the numbers. And the answer was, Chris did that, he is gone from the department, and I know that they were using the old copy.
So they're wrong with
The
that.
first draft.
Yeah, and it's clearly, there's a watermark that says draft in there, so they cannot actually even use that.
Yeah, and that's when you write the minutes.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so going forward, if we're dealing just with the regional superintendent and our SAL can deal with that and CC the council. But this situation, I think, needs to be asked for a little more, because I don't think you're getting it. They're not being flexible. When we worked hard and you worked hard to adjust this and fix it so that we were on the right track. And we didn't get much support from this department to do that. That's correct. So if this letter is an intent to clarify it, I think it needs to go a little higher, because obviously the previous finance person in the department did not keep an accurate file of proceedings for his staff.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I'd like to, the same way when we were talking about the health center, we should direct it to the minister. Forget about Chris or Priscilla. I think we should, if you're the one signing the letter, you know.
Before I go any further, Mr. Mayor and Council, I just noticed that 10E was not addressed, which is on your table. It's an invitation from the Minister of Finance for us to find members that would like to participate in the budget dialogues and provide the feedback to GNWT. It's not an open session for everyone, is that who would like to, and then I will submit the names.
At 10 p.m.
Beside, and I write 10 a.m.?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The apology came within 5 minutes. And they said, sorry, we meant 10 a.m.
So, do they send an invite? Or we give them a list of names and then they send us an invite? Okay.
Okay, so this is happening next Monday
Monday at
morning.
Yeah.
I suggest that there is if we choose to join this and members want to do this, that there is, what are we going to talk about the budget for next? Like what's important to us? Otherwise, like I can't speak on behalf of council unless council gives me what to speak about on that. So there needs to be either some more discussion on it or an ad hoc with whoever's going to sit on it to represent us clearly on the issues we have with the budget.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, perhaps we can gather a little more information to kind of give us maybe some idea of what the topic of discussions might be, like where they're thinking of putting the money, and then that way we have some idea of what we can address. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
This is the first time they're doing this, right? They've never done that before.
I don't ever remember having.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So, anyways, I'd like you to put my name at 10 o'clock on that one, although I have an audit. I don't know for how long this one. That's what I wasn't, because they did so many town hall meetings, the minister in the past, and people just listen. And when they want to make a comment, they're trying to raise their hand on the teams and they don't have time because there's so many participants or audience.
I want to attend here.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not going to attend.
I'll watch it
Yeah,
on the beach.
I mean, like,
Yeah, can we watch it here?
That could be set up, Mitch?
Sure.
Yeah, 10 o'clock Monday. Oh,
Okay,
So you guys are coming here, but
Yeah, I'll be here.
But just send an invite. I'll
Yeah.
participate on my phone.
They're asking you to help shape the budget for 2027,
7.
28. So that means we need to come forward
forward
with
with
suggestions on how to
suggest-
shape it
yes.
to support us and other communities, small communities. And one of the issues we've always presented with is that we seem to be underfunded and that, that kind of thing. And then the whole thing around the property tax issue and somebody passes away, it's just causing us nightmares. So we're losing revenue as opposed to gaining revenue with some of the rules around how we collect it. So you guys, I'm very confident as a council member, if you guys sit down and come up with what you're going to present, but it needs to be thrown past us before you go on camera, because you're representing all of us.
It just goes back to an email I sent way back in December. There's that Kevin radio article, and it just shows how we're chronically underfunded. When they were talking about about 2 years ago it was done. So just some pointers on that. It's got a graph, shows all the communities and how we're down, and we're a regional hub.
Fabulous. That would help.
I'll try to find that.
Because we are a regional hub, we're not
Yeah, we're not
a little
just
town.
Yeah. Shirley.
I know when we were at the NWTAC, there was a lot of shared concerns there, and climate change, the environmental changes around our community was one of the biggest issues I remember hearing, whether it be weather by the ocean, erosion on the river. So there was lots of things there. So just based on what we talked about then, I can almost guess where their money might potentially be going. And that's like, there was a lot of concern about the dumps and, the upgrades and the designs around that at NWTAC, the,
Aging infrastructure.
aging infrastructure, the climate change, erosion, weather having effect on communities. So based on even just that little bit that I remember at this very moment, I can almost fathom where some of that money might be going. So maybe we might want to put in our 2 cents there too when it comes to those particular categories. What is it within ours that might be relevant to being included in the budget?
Mr. Mayor, the instructions are to submit the name, email, so that they could send electronically to each individual that will be attending.
Okay.
The phone number of these individuals to dial in if that's going to be the case, and additional information, instructions about participation. So, but right now I've got the Councillor Pasquale-Matt, and I don't know who else did mention.
I want to.
Anybody else? Okay, so I do have your personal email, so I've got the okay to send it in, and your phone numbers. I know I've got yours. I'm not sure your was very secret and you wouldn't give it to me last week.
I did give it to Emma.
And we have, I think, on record here, your cell number. Okay, so you would receive it directly to your, but if you want to
I
have
think
a,
we could advise them that we would like to have
I was just gonna
Gonna
say,
say that.
I'd like to suggest that we meet here first, not on the day, but sometime in the next couple of days to discuss some of the larger issue so that we speak on one voice for, not I, but you speak on one voice of your concern as elected members of this community.
Well, that's not what I was quite gonna say. I was gonna say, we can advise them by email that we have this member, this member, this member, and they're going to do the teams in our council chamber.
Okay,
So we just need the one number to come to. That's what I would recommend, instead of you getting it and you getting it and you getting it, not.
okay,
Don't you think?
I think it would be easier for us to sort of speak amongst each other. Otherwise, all of us are trying to talk and get our
yeah,
point across. But if we're all here, or at least a majority of us here, we can talk amongst ourselves and say this, and then we can.
Well, I think.
Are we
by
gonna have
then-
a
I
quick
think we'll know, but
meeting before?
We should.
Yeah.
So that, we have a unified voice.
Yeah, you need that unified voice.
Yeah, because it's kind of pretty vague, this email. We don't, if they want representatives from each community, they should mention about specific items. So, and not everybody's throwing some topic here and there and stuff like that, because there's probably a facilitator that's gonna do this, because I don't know how many communities we have in Northwest Territory. 33, so you're gonna have, so I don't know for how long is this meeting? That's what I was wondering as well. If you have 33 communities, you're probably gonna need the whole day, actually. to listen from each of the communities.
I think there's gonna be, with us four, there'll be 10 people.
you're gonna be on.
that wanna see there. I don't wanna be
You guys can.
a listener, not a,
Yeah, not the spokesperson.
right?
Okay.
Can I mention something? I know, talking about the type of topics, I think with this highway going through, we should talk about an emergency access for our community, because we only have one way out.
I think that's part of the community plan.
I know, but I'm just saying that could be part of, like, we need more money to get that road out.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was,
For a bridge?
yes.
Okay,
Take a ferry.
so that was 10E, Mr. Mayor, that I had jumped over, and I was down to 12D. We are at council matters. Council matters.
Council matters and concerns. We're gonna start with Councilor Bellefontaine.
one concern I had was at our last meeting, there was an in-camera illegal, and I asked what it was about, and I was told it was the dog pound. But then when they came by the camera, it was to give me a letter. And I'm not sure, because if I would have been told that it was something to do with a letter for me, I would have stayed to have the discussion. And because it's a letter I already received, I don't know why I couldn't be there for that. So I think that was an odd decision to tell me it was about something different. So I don't think that was procedurally correct. You really shouldn't be going in camera for something, say it's one thing, but speak about another thing.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, that's not really.
I want to address it right away. By legal counsel advising the council that it had, first of all, it was a legal matter. It was never, I've never mentioned that it was dog pound. Whoever mentioned that to you is totally,
I asked what it was about.
from who?
It's on the video. I asked what the meeting was about. I asked you guys, what was the in-camera issue?
And I did not, the word dog pound never came out of my mouth.
It didn't say a letter for Councillor Bellefontaine. It was something about dog pound. I could look it up and give you the
It's-
correct info.
If I may, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Because the matter was a legal matter with the legal opinion that was requested by council, and that's what we had to discuss, and part of that was the letter that the legal opinion said that they had to be presented. It tried to be presented on a Saturday, Councillor. You refused to take the envelope, and by legal counsel advising the mayor and council that I had to do what I did, which was presenting to everyone the document that was produced, which is an opinion, and that included that letter, which was to follow certain, and I can't discuss more because then we would be in camera.
So to be clear, the letter that I already received before, when it was given to me or tried to be given to me on Saturday, I was asked to go into the office with Les and Mitch together. It
No.
wasn't presented we were in here in this.
I wasn't there.
And then it was like, hey, can you come down here for a second? And I said, no, because 3 times already I've been pulled aside by the same 2 individuals. And I pointed out that I'm not an employee of either. That is not the way this is done. I believe it should be handled in public if they think there's something going on. And was this letter written by a lawyer?
Yep,
This is the letter from the lawyer.
that's right.
So then I've been advised to ask a few questions, so I will speak with them and all these and all those lines. Because I'd like to know specifically which issues we're saying I can't discuss, and what legislation says that I can't. And if we're gonna get a legal opinion, I think, like I mentioned before, I mentioned other people that are involved in this issue. And I think we do have money available to us through NWT, AC, and Brown LLP.
Yeah.
So I think we could get a legal opinion on that and just see what they advise. I'm not sure how this was all presented because my concern is we came to a meeting, came to a meeting that was a special meeting legal. And we came to the meeting, and as soon as I found out what it was, I declared conflict like I always do. And then on the Monday following, somehow between Saturday and the Monday evening meeting, there was a legal opinion that they want to remind me of conflict of interest. And in fact, in that meeting, I gave a little speech about conflict of interest and basically just said why I'm declaring conflict because there's new councillors. Talked about why really we should all be declaring conflict or bias if we have something going on. So it was surprising that I would get a letter reminding me of conflict of interest when I always declare conflict. And I don't know why we would spend money on a legal opinion to tell me what I just finished telling everybody at the meeting prior.
Mr. Mayor, we can't go in without being in camera.
Yeah,
Because
it's legal.
that's right.
So you mentioned like the dog pound, you're right. It was never mentioned.
Never.
But when he asked they said, what is the legal about? The only thing that we said is about lawsuit about the village. That's all. It was never mentioned about the dog bylaw, dog pound, or anything like that. It's just lawsuit about the village. That's all.
So that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
It was sort of implied that it was about that issue.
Well, I don't think, not all of us knew about that exactly. When you say lawsuit, there could be many lawsuits, right? So it doesn't have to be specific to that one. But when we had an in-camera, and then that's when they told you you have to declare conflict, that's when you stepped. Yeah.
And just to clarify, I didn't call you into the office. That's where the letter was. I had to get the letter out of the office, right? I tried to hand it to you right here. I tried to hand it to you right there, and you refused to take it.
I said it can be given to me in a public meeting, which I've always said. If it's a counselor, if it's a problem with the counselor, I don't see why that has to be hidden away. If there's something because the way it is now, it would seem like there's a legal issue and Troy has to leave the room and now we're giving him a letter. It would seem like I've done something. And I've always declared conflict, so I don't understand what I've done that.
I do have another one. Since Councillor Belfontaine has already wanted things to be publicized, regardless about that specific one, I think you just have to put it open, but the details not much, because it's the same way when we discussed that at the time regarding our comments before with the the previous SAOs and all that stuff, right? So, and it went into the papers. So I guess if that's how he felt that it should be made in public, why can't we put it in public then?
Okay.
So that public will
He's
know.
got the letter. He can make it public anytime he wants, right? This council will not, I don't think.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to say, that he can do that
The
himself. and
ball's
make
in
it
his court. He can make it as public as he wants.
Even the lawsuit if he chooses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we are very careful that we don't say or do anything that is gonna put us in a legal position. Right? So I think at this point, we listen to his concern and that's it, and we don't answer any questions and we don't make any comments.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My only final comment I will make is I am following the regulation by the Director of Governance and by the lawyer of the council to a T, word for word. Nothing added by me. It was exactly the way I was instructed to present and give you the documents and what we discussed. I will not discuss it outside because that would be infringing on the conflict and the in-camera session, and I'm not about to do that. But the member is more than allowed to do whatever he wants with the documentation. It's his document. But I cannot and should not have the council say anything.
That's it.
My
Deputy
turn?
Mayor.
Well, I've already brought up the issue of the rotten vehicles and old things on people's property. It doesn't attract people it doesn't make our community look nice. And it's also a liability for the village because they can cause a fire or whatever. So that's already been discussed. The other item was, and I'm like a broken record on this, but why bother bringing up council matters and concerns if there's no action or response to those? And so I'm asking council or administration to consider again some kind of checklist that if there's an action item or an item that comes out of the council matters and concerns, that there is some follow-up, whether it's directly to that council or to the council as a whole. Because there's a couple of issues, and this goes back to the golf course and the community garden, neither of which have leasehold or any responsibility for the lands they're using. And and that has strapped the community garden society because they cannot get funding until they get the land area clarified, because they're still being seen as down on the Papal ground where they originated. And so that's hammering them from getting additional funding to repair that greenhouse and to beautify the area that was really quite beautiful at one time. But there needs to be some action here so that if I bring up the item, I'm not being harassed on the street as why this didn't get done, or I don't even have a response. So I'm recommending, Mr. Mayor, that we come up with a process that if things are being brought up in this section, that they're either actioned or this, some kind of response to the counselor. Right? Now I'll give another example. The highway going up the hill it's scary sometimes, and it is scarier for our older population and even our younger population. And I know it's a matter of being under the territorial government, but I never even heard back as to whether they said, no, they won't do anything, or they're not doing anything. And that's a safety issue. And I don't want the council to be blamed if something happens there. And we've brought it forward several times. So I don't think I'm the only councillor. I think it was brought up with a previous member as well. So these are things that I think our community sees us as providing for them, their concerns to this council and some action on them, but they never don't seem to get action. Okay. Broken record.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Leslie.
So one of my concerns is regarding the new health center, because everyone's asking, well, aren't we the hub? And with the highway and everything going through, why are we getting a health center and not a hospital? Yeah.
About beds there.
Yeah. So that's one concern that I've been asked, and I was like, okay, well, I'll bring that up. And my other concern is just with us in here, this side talking. It needs to stop when someone's talking and then side talking. It's a little distracting. So.
Councillor Cheryl Cleveland.
I was gonna ask those same questions, Councillor, Deputy Mayor Tetsu, was what happens with councillor concerns? Because I feel like we're repeating some of the same things, just wondering if we need to keep track our own and ask them over and over, or what, like, do I need to send in a spreadsheet or something? I don't know, but the road, our main street, there's a couple of areas that have push-ups. I know that, I'm not sure what it is. We have water pooling in some areas, not sure what the work is going to be around that. The dip in the highway, I have brought that up before. It's been a couple weeks now. I haven't heard anything back. I don't see nothing happening there. And it's getting quite deep. If anyone who travels up and down that hill, if you don't slow down below the speed limit, it is quite a nice little bump. I would like to talk about, mention the derelict lots and the excessive collection of antique vehicles, and they're not antiques. I'm kind of being facetious a bit here, but just it's not just an eyesore, it's the safety, like people, kids playing in there, glass breaking, the oil seeping, the fluids, the fuels, everything that's in there, right? So real combustible components in those kinds of vehicles. So very concerning. I've seen grass grow past the windows last year, which is very concerning. The other one, which I brought up earlier, is the emergency access, a through road for our community. And this has been on the books probably since I was just like a wee little one, right? So I know that has always been an issue in this community, and especially now with fire smarting, and the potential for that. Like, I think that is more important now than ever to really put that on our books for serious consideration for the planning of our community. So I just wanted to mention that. A really good job on sweeping up the main road. Thank you, because I was really tired of spitting out like all the sand and dust out of my mouth walking down the street or driving down my window open. So yeah, so thank you. Let's see.
Councillor James Tetzel.
Just to add on to Councillor Clee's concerns, I mean, with this major construction project happening very, very quickly, how are we gonna be prepared for all this? Because I don't see it happening. There's not a whole lot of, we're not gonna be prepared for a major project. I can't see it happening. And I believe Councillor Clee is right. We do need an access off this island by other means, like it's been talked about for decades. Nothing's ever come of it. So what are we going to do about it? And how can we actively ensure that our community will be prepared for a major construction project that will be coming through here? I mean, I think we really need to be really pushing our community planning here. I think it's stalled for quite some time, but we really need to take action to prepare ourselves for the future. I don't think we're prepared right now. That's all I have.
Councillor Campbell, Josh.
Listen, council, just to the health center thing. I don't want to go back to the history of it, but we need that updated portfolio for now. It's just so critical. It would be revenues to help us with our operations, but it's also at the regional level. Have we reached out to our neighboring communities, Pizzakeen, Sumbakay, Hanny Butte? Because it doesn't just serve us, it serves the whole Detroit region. And then from triage from there to Yellowknife or to Edmonton. And I just remember when I was a reporter at CKLB, it was very several horrible health things that happened in small communities because of that lack of health center. So it'd just be nice to get us up to stop being second-class citizens in this territory. And we're not driving the project, but it's going to help our whole region and attract more people to come live here and work at this facility. I think sometimes we forget those little parts of it. We want to attract people here to work and to raise families. I've seen too many families move the last couple of years. But anyhow, another thing, I'm not sure, I have to do some more research, but just top of my head, bathrooms at the tourist park. We're a tourism hub here. I don't know if that's ITI's responsibility, but they've been dysfunctional, not functioning for the last little while. And how are we going to welcome tourists here if we don't have washroom facilities at the park? So maybe I don't have to talk to ITI about that or who, but it's something that should be fixed. And lobby the territory or somewhere, 20% like that. And just to kind of echoing what Councillor Cleed said about that push-up just in front of the Heritage Center in the high school. It seems to be an annual thing. I don't know if it's a pipe there or what, but yeah, it's kind of edging up there again this year. But that's everything I have today. Awesome.
Thank you. Councillor Shindekley.
I think everybody's touched on a lot of good subjects, and I agree with all of those concerns as well. Have nothing further to add to all of that. Just I am happy that the river broke up and the birds are returning and the sun is shining. So I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time outside. Next little one.
Thank you.
I don't have anything to add, actually. I like what Trishenda said. I do concur with what Kathy and Cheryl had mentioned. So that concern, we should have kind of like a logbook, or I don't know, kind of like a list, so that we could revisit it. What have we done? Because we keep on repeating ourselves every meeting, and it doesn't have like an end date to that.
Let's go.
You're always reading my mind. And last week I sat down with Emma and I said, Emma, we have to start an Excel spreadsheet with all the comments of the council so that Mitch and I could review the items and match the different department that needs to take care of it. So it's in the works. But Sarah got back today, so we have full staff now in the office, and your executive assistant to the council and to the SAO will be working with me on getting that listing done. We'll go in as many as we can minutes of meetings and collect the information so that in my report, it should be reported the things that we have actioned off. A lot are done behind the scene. The gentleman sitting at the table there has a lot of those things because it's part of the operation. But yeah, the roads were clean because you mentioned it and I mentioned it to Mitch, when will they do that? And then it rains. It's like you wash your car and the next day the rain is there. So that was an initiation last week that we took in the office to start the listing of these all these concerns and to bring it. And let's not forget that there's one more motion, Mr. Mayor, that was missed.
I was just gonna ask Mitch if he had something to say. That.
I was gonna add too, that we're gonna go back a full year with council concerns as well. It won't be just, this year, we're going back a full year.
Let's see.
Okay, we did miss one council resolution. That council approved Mayor Wright, Councillor Pascamat, Councillor Cheryl Clee, Councillor Troy Belfontaine to attend the GNWT budget dialogue on behalf of Village Fort Simpson. Can you move in a second? Moved by Councillor James.
And I think it was Rishendo or
Yeah,
Cheryl.
Seconded by Councillor Rashinda. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And Mr. Mayor, I will be in touch with the writer of this email to get more detail. And when would you like to have that get together, the four of you with me and to discuss the items? What's the schedule?
Or before? I don't know. The meeting for the budget,
dialogue?
when would be a good time to meet before?
Prior, that's happening on Monday. right?
Monday the
Monday,
11th.
10.
So anytime this week, I'll join you whenever, pick a date, I'll be there.
Well, as soon as you have the information, if you could let us know, and we can.
That's what I'll do. I'll send it to the four and then I'll suggest 3 times and then you could pick and then we'll see.
Yeah.
I think that should be open, that discussion should be open to all council,
Okay,
and that our representatives would then present that.
okay, so we'll have the meeting in here or in the,
Yeah, either way.
okay, very good.
It's ad hoc, one-time thing.
Yes.
Silcourt.
Oh,
Court, they canceled last week, if you remember, because they wanted more than just 15 minutes. And they are open to paying the fee for the council to sit and listen to their presentation. And it will be done most likely on video within the next 2 weeks, Mitch?
Anytime within the new next 2 weeks.
Within the next 2 weeks, anytime that we wanted to sit. Now, if you wanted at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, we could set that. I don't think he was open for a Saturday, right?
Not for weekends.
Yeah, he wasn't. So it would be an evening that everybody could gather in here and then he'll make the presentation. His first name I can't remember right now, but Ilcourt is one of the large financial company that would like to be involved in being part of the PPP of the government for funding
3P project.
3P project. Yeah.
And this is where we could ask them about, will you be providing security, right? Like to the village, right? So maybe they give us funding for 1 or 2 extra,
For what?
because they're gonna be running the program going north, right? So that's gonna create a security problem for the community, right? So we asked them for some funding to help alleviate that.
I think we should also be looking at a percentage of indigenous population hired
Yeah,
by them.
that sort of stuff, right?
That's what I would
All
think,
these questions,
and that we dictate where they can drop their stuff or not, and all kinds of stuff.
you know,
Tri-council needs to meet on that.
where's their nearest 100-man camp,
Mm-hmm.
right? That sort of thing.
They have to be out so many
And-
kilometers.
Yeah, and that's something that council should be looking at, that we make that decision where the nearest 100-man camp or 50-man camp or even 10-man camp.
Yeah, and, sorry,
So I seen Josh with his
I
hand up.
hadn't had it forever.
You'll go
You
first.
never look at me like I don't know if you're afraid of me.
I don't know
or
if
what,
you-
man.
Right now that thing's in your way, I can't see
Like,
your hand.
here.
Okay, Cheryl, don't forget what you were talking about.
I did, thank you very much. I was gonna say, since they're paying for our time, can they pay for our dinner too, please? So I don't have to cook that night. That's how concerned I was. Okay.
And then I.
Just, I think I saw in the news earlier that our neighbors to the North Pidsiki First Nations have finally agreed to a corridor, so that's good to hear.
Oh, my God, yes.
So, I suggest on top of your request, if they could give us, if they have a handout to give it ahead of time. I mean, like, so we can take notes based on the handouts that they're gonna provide, even though they're gonna give it on the day of our meeting. So, because it's hard, if we couldn't see the screen sometimes, we can take notes. Not after the fact. They can give it ahead of time, but you can distribute it on the day of our meeting. And if we could start at 6, that would be good.
I remember what else I was gonna say. Wasn't just about the food. The man camp, about security. I know when Enbridge was here doing their big spill, they were 21 kilometers out of town, and that was a requirement by the group, the First Nations and stuff, right? Yeah, yeah, so they are away from the community.
I think we should hear what you have to say before we come in with a list of demands, because I don't know much about what they're going to be doing, whether they're one of the proponents in the 3P project. I don't know. 'Cause there'll be, like the guys that worked on line 21, there was one subcontractor for Enbridge. And that's a major, major company across this country who could also come in and do it, who has as much experience dealing with going underground, in ground, and building highways, I imagine, but I don't know. So before we put a wish list that we want money for security, can we hear what they have to say?
Yeah, and I believe that's the direction we were kind of asking for, Mr. Mayor, to just kind of compile a little bit of something to give us some general idea of what they're.
So I heard 6 o'clock, but I haven't heard which day.
Any date? And then we'll pick.
You're out until Wednesday.
I would say Thursday. 'cause
Thursday?
if-
I can't do it.
Trust that.
So next week?
Next week is
Next week.
Next week, we have a meeting on Monday. Do you want a Tuesday or Wednesday next week at 6 PM?
Wednesday's good.
Wednesday.
Okay,
Wednesday's
Wednesday
good?
the 13th?
Oh, no, I'm not gonna be here.
Oh,
Well, the ferry's gonna be open on the 13th.
Now, we can get this recorded, Mitch?
The 12th.
Can we get it recorded?
We have a meeting on the.
Okay, so. we could record it for-
LKFN council meeting that night.
No, it's on the 11th.
TI.
LKFN?
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that. Okay.
You gotta remind me. I asked somebody, because I'll forget.
13th and the 11th.
I better write that.
Well,
The 12th has LKFN has a meeting. I like to be at that. I have a meeting. We both have a meeting to attend.
On the 12th? Okay.
I'm on 12th too.
I'm on
14th?
Any day.
14th is
14th
It'll be
is good for
before.
me.
14 is good.
Oh, the 13th, Wednesday.
How's the 13th?
No good.
No good. 14th,
14 is okay for me.
except for, and it'll be recorded, which we'll make available to you.
Oh, it's right there.
I'll try to see if I can get someone to swap a shift that would work. So you're saying the 14th?
So we will put in the minutes that it's, what day, that's a, when?
What time is that?
14th,
Is it Thursday? Thursday, 6 o'clock on the 14th. Il Court. Minimum from the sound of it, what I heard from Mitch, 2.5 hours. He's a talker.
And anything beyond that time, it's double our rate.
Up to 4 hours is the same rate.
I know, easy.
And we're gonna bill them for the,
Oh, we could have food then and bill them for our meal.
Mitch, we'll see what we can do.
14th at 6 p.m.
Are you back?
No, but I'll be yelling if I could call in.
Yeah, you'll be at the board.
I'm just waiting to see this. Any other comment, Mitch? Good for the 14th? Okay, 6 p.m.
Probably just call.
6 PM, 14th, Thursday.
I could probably just call in.
Yeah, they'll probably be on Zoom or one of those, so we'll give you the link.
Okay. Deputy Mayor?
I wouldn't mind, Mr. Mayor, if there is a group from here that's going to be on this health center planning process and capital project, that I'd be involved because
for sure.
I have been involved in the previous plans for this health center. Some knowledge. Unless you don't want me, I could be.
I did
could be a detriment to that. I don't know, but I do
Having knowledge.
have that experience.
Mr. Mayor, we'll put it on the cow to discuss it, get some names of who would like to be on that ad hoc committee, because this is not a regular
That's right.
meeting. And it may happen once every 3 months that we have a meeting, but at least you'll have the names of who's on the ad hoc committee. So we'll put that on the agenda for next Monday. That is not my item, so.
Okay, we've got a in-camera HR,
Definition of a hospital have to have. a whole bunch of
HR
other things.
item.
That's standard.
Let's
the only
take a break first.
Please and thank you.
Yep.
I have to talk too much. I don't know how to
7
whisper.
minutes, 6 minutes.
6
I don't know how to
minutes?
whisper so loud. But I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not listening. I admit my
There you are.
bad, I'm old enough to take it. Where were you in Edmonton?
We left the day you got there. No, you guys